Welcome back to another episode of Books in Bed, where we talk about books in bed. We chillin', we bookin'. We chillin', we bookin'. I've been chillin' in bed a lot recently because I've been living that self-isolation life. It is what it is. I've been in bed lockdown, if you will. Can't say it's been the worst. The one thing I'm really missing is going to my local bookshop and browsing books. Browsing books online just isn't the same. I want to feel the books. I want to hug the books. I want to smell the books. I mean, I guess I could do that with the books I do own, but like, it's different. If you know, you know. The good thing about books right now is that you don't have to keep that 6-foot distance. You can get as close as you want. I talked about this in a video recently, but I've been kind of feeling a little slumpy. Not necessarily slumpy, but I just haven't been feeling like reading because of everything that's happening. Reading has not really been my escape method. I love that I don't even have to say what's going on because we all know. You know, I know, the world knows. Chaos. I am now reading pretty actively. I'm just not reading at the pace that I want to be reading in. Like, I want to be devouring the books, and it's just not happening right now, you know? I want to turn the dial up and hit a faster reading speed. I wish I read as fast as the Flash's speed. Now that would be nice. That kind of made me dizzy. Realistically, I can't run on that reading hamster wheel all year long. There's gonna be some hiccups along the way, and this current moment in life is like a hiccup that you can't force out. It's stuck in your throat.
That sounds pretty painful.
For me personally, when I fall into a reading slump or I fall into a reading slowdown, I feel disconnected with the book community, and I know what this all comes down to. It's that whole comparing yourself to other people thing, which is a very real and unfortunate thing, and I wish I could just not. But human nature be like, sorry! So, I thought I'd share with you some things that you can do to kind of feel connected to the book world when you're going through a reading slump or a reading slowdown. Because I know that there are, especially right now, a lot of people who are not feeling in the mood to read just because of everything that be going down. I just realized this has been really low this whole video. Wow. Oops. Sorry. Anyway, I thought that I would share with you some things that you can do to kind of feel connected to the book world, even if you're not able to focus on books right now. Basically, bookish things that you can do that aren't reading. And first of all, let me just say, it's okay to not be reading right now. Repeat after me, book are me. It's okay to not be reading. I know that probably hurts your heart a little bit, but give yourself a break. Break me off a piece of that book love bar. Reading is meant for enjoyment anyway, and not to stress you out during an already stressful time. I know that for me personally, I've felt pressured to read during moments when I just don't feel like reading, and I'm pretty sure that sometimes those moments have kind of pushed me farther into a reading slump, but also kind of feel it out and see what works for you, because sometimes forcing yourself to read is what kicks you to read more, but then sometimes it does the opposite. Just take a breather, and books will always be there for you when you're ready for them again. You might not be the consistent one when it comes to the relationship with books, but they'll always be there for you. They're not going anywhere. Not on my watch. Wow, I haven't even gone down my list yet. I get distracted easily, apparently. First on my list, make some DIY bookmarks. That way, when you do come back to reading, you can gift your book with a new quitter strip. 2. Make your own bookish mugs. I did this for a video once, and I was actually really impressed with how well they came out. Link to the video in the description. Next on my list, catalog your books. This probably sounds really boring to some people, but I find it weirdly relaxing to do this. Is it a waste of time? Perhaps, but to each their own. Next, reorganize your bookshelf. This ain't on the top of my list because, let's be real, it ain't personally that enjoyable for me. But it is something that will help you get your mind off of things, plus change is good, and sometimes little changes like that can just brighten your mood. It's a full-on mood booster. Not in the moment of actually reorganizing, but the end result, it's pretty nice. Just gotta go through HE double hockey sticks to get there. Next on my list is to clean your bookshelves. Get rid of that dustiness that you've been avoiding dusting. Next, write your own book. Speaking of which, I need to get back on the writing horse and yeehaw my way to victory. Next, have a 24-hour book-to-movie adaptation marathon. Just ditch the ones that you know are trash and bring in the ones that you know are good, and everything will be perfect. Next, start a bookstagram. This is the perfect time to start one. Maybe the process of taking pictures of books will inspire you to want to read again. Last on my list is actually a trend that's kind of going around Bookstagram and Twitter, and that's to match books with outfits. This has been all over Twitter lately, and there have been some fire ones. I see you talented humans, you stunners, you icons. I'm gonna do my own little bookish lookbook right here, right now. I don't have much style, if any style, but I'm gonna embrace my inner Kevin from STORYGLYPH, who is the Bookstagram and BookTube style king. If you're not following him, what are you doing? Links in the description. Here we go!
Inside of me, it's a deep hole where I bleed. Oh, can I see you lit? You're like an ocean without land, not a single grain of sand. I'm drifting on.
I just realized I left my bed to do that. I broke my own books in bed rule. Illegal! The next super random thing that I wanted to talk about today are these bookshelf inserts that have been going around Twitter and Instagram lately that I have become obsessed with. They're essentially these beautifully crafted bookshelf inserts that are meant to set on your bookshelf next to your books to just kind of add some decor, add some flavors, some pizzazz, some toppings to your bookshelf pizza. I need to really reel it in here, huh? Which I know it's kind of like, why would I even want that when I can fill that slot with a book? I get it, I hear you loud and clear, and you're not wrong. But look at these and tell me that they're not beautiful, because they are beautiful. You don't know you're beautiful. Here's a bookstore inspired one where it looks like you've got a bookshop on your bookshelf. Chuck a hamster in there and call it good. Actually, don't do that. Don't want no hamster poo near my books. There's this great haul one inspired by Harry Potter, which is just all sorts of magical. Like, I feel like if I had this on my bookshelf, I would just see it every day and weep because of how magical it is. Weep tears of magic. There's this Japanese alley one, which I feel like was created for my Japan-loving heart. Imagine being this creative and having this much talent and being able to create something so cool. I really want a Miss Peregrine's themed one, but I have no talent, zero talent when it comes to stuff like this. Like, I could never. If any of you guys are good at crafting things like this, you should totally try this. Craft it up, fam bam. If any of you actually end up making your own, please tweet them at me. I want to see them. Next, I have another random topic that I want to talk about. Me in every video though, I have a random thought that I want to share. This is one of those things that popped into my head when I was showering recently. Sometimes shower thoughts are weird, sometimes they're brilliant. Water slammed against my skin. Steam rose in the shower. And my mind wondered if there are people who don't like seeing art of a character before reading a book because they want to make up their own image of a character while reading a book. That was a lot to digest. Let that sink in. Now, this is more of an open discussion. I want to hear your thoughts on this down below in the comments. What's your preference? Are any of you like that, where you don't want to see an image of a character before you read a book because you want to make up your own image of what that character looks like while reading a book? I'm kind of on the neutral side of things when it comes to this. I don't mind seeing visuals of a character before going into a book. It doesn't really affect my reading experience at all. In fact, for me, sometimes I feel like it's more so helpful. Like, I benefit in seeing what the character looks like, especially if it's official art. For example, before I read Six of Crows, there was official artwork that was released. So I kind of went into that book not having to rely on my own imagination, and I was able to rely on those reference images. It's interesting though, because even though I was able to rely on those reference images, I still throughout the reading process kind of built up my own version of what the characters look like, but they did look very similar to that official artwork. I used those pictures as a jumping point to kind of spring up my own images of those characters. Also, when you see an adaptation of a book before having read that book, and then you decide to read that book, do you create your own image as to what those characters look like, or do you just visualize the actors from the adaptation the whole time? If I do this, I can't get the actors out of my head. Like when I read the Percy Jackson series, I had seen the Lightning Thief movie, and your boy could only picture Logan Lerman as Percy. What are your thoughts on this? This is meant to be an open discussion because obviously we're all gonna have different experiences when it comes to this, so let me know all your thoughts down below. Lastly, I wanted to share with you guys my weekend reads, the books that I am hoping to read this weekend. I'm working on 3 books this weekend. Doesn't mean I'm gonna read all of them because let's be real, it ain't happening. One is the graphic novel that I showed in my recent vlog, and that is Dragon Hoops. Graphic novels are usually easy breezy to get through, but this one is kind of a break. So it might take me some time to get through this one. This would for sure be a book that I'd chuck at an intruder because it's a heavy boy, and I feel like it for sure smack sense into them and have them second guess what they're doing. This book is about this teacher who doesn't like sports, but then this event happens involving the basketball team and it changes his life forever, and he ends up becoming a full-on sports stan. I'm hoping this one is a nothing but net kind of book for me, which I would say is comparable to a satisfying read. Then I'm planning to finish the book that I am currently reading, and that is The Magical Language of Others. I have about 100 pages left in this book, and this has been a really sad and eye-opening book for me. It's about this girl's family who immigrates from South Korea to the United States, and then her dad ends up getting a job in South Korea, and so her dad and her mom move back to South Korea, leaving her and her brother in the United States, leaving them to basically raise themselves on their own. There's been a lot of really interesting topics kind of explored in this one, but I feel like the one that's kind of interested me the most is how things can happen in a family and how that can affect the family line as the family grows in the future. There's a really complicated mother-daughter relationship at the forefront of the story, and we trace back to the mother's own relationship with her mom and how that might have affected her current relationship with her daughter. And it's just really fascinating to read about, and it is a memoir, so it hits a little bit differently knowing that the things that are happening in this book have actually happened. So I'm definitely looking forward to finishing this this one up. On top of those things, I am starting a reread of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I'm excited to read this one again because when I first read it, I really enjoyed it, and this time around, I'm reading it with a friend of mine, and hopefully after I reread this, I will tackle the rest of the trilogy. That's all I've got for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Books in Bed. You should let me know down below in the comments what you're planning on reading this weekend, and also just what your weekend plans are. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye-yo! I'm still here. And then her dad